You know, in this series that we do here, we extract strategies from lots of different sources, some from history, some from books, but some of those strategies come from the most unlikeliest of sources. This is one of those. This is something that happened on the set of the Superman movie starring Christopher Reeves, made way back in the 80s, with Gene Hackman playing Lex Luthor. Now, Richard Donner, who was the director of that film, had a bit of a problem with Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman, he didn't like the whole bald head idea, but they got around that in the movie by making it that he wears a wig to cover up his bald head. However, Gene Hackman also had a mustache, which he was very proud of. And of course, Lex Luthor doesn't wear a mustache. So how is Richard Donner going to convince Gene Hackman, who's notoriously stubborn and bad-tempered, how is he going to get him to shave off his mustache for the role? Well, Richard Donner, in his own words, described it like this. I said, "Gene, the mustache, it's got to go." He said, "No, the mustache stays." I said, "Look, we're getting by with the hair and everything, but we'll never get by with the mustache." I said, "Look, come on, you shave off yours and I'll shave off mine." First, Gene Hackman still said no, but then he looked at me and he said, "All right, but you have to do it right now." I said, "While you're sitting there, let Stuart take yours off first." I said, "Stuart, take off Mr. Hackman's mustache." Stuart began to shake. He knew now what was going on and it wasn't going to be pretty, and he shaves off Gene Hackman's mustache. Gene then says, "Okay, sit down, you're next." I said, "I don't have to," and I peeled off the fake mustache. Hackman looked at me and his neck swelled to about 4 times bigger than normal. The veins in his temples started to throb. He's a big mother. I knew he was going to knock me through a wall. Gradually though, a smile came across his face and he laughed and said, "I see what this picture is going to be like, but I owe you one." And from then on, he was a doll. He was a doll on the set with ideas. He was very easy to work with. We broke the problem. He had put the chip on his shoulder and I had knocked it off, and I didn't get hurt. And he became one of the dearest friends of my life. So it's a cool story, right? If only they pulled this trick with Henry Cavill, then we wouldn't have had to have that awful CGI lip for Superman. But you might say, "Hey, Bandit, okay, that's an interesting story, but how does that useful for me? When am I ever going to be in a situation where I need someone to shave off a mustache?" Well, this tactic that Richard Donner uses here, we need to be careful about exactly how we use it, because under different circumstances, this could simply be a bait and switch scam. You know, where you promise someone one thing and then you deliver something else, and you make enemies doing that. It's a bait and switch. No one likes to be tricked. The way Richard Donner did it though, it was okay. So what's a way that we could use this in a way that doesn't make us extra enemies? Well, let me relate you another story. There was a guy who was looking to buy a house. And when you go out to buy a house, there's lots of different people who want to buy a house and lots of different people making bids. Now, this particular gentleman could not outbid any of the other people, but he needed to get some kind of upper hand in order to get out ahead of his competition and actually get the house. So in talking with the woman who was selling her house, he knew that she was moving interstate and she kind of had to pack up and move in a hurry. He also noticed that she had a very large piano in the house, which would have been very difficult to move. So he lied about his wife being interested in piano and him wanting to buy a piano for his wife. And he sort of threw it in as a sweetener of like, "Hey, I probably can't offer you more money than anyone else is, but with me, you wouldn't have to worry about shipping the piano across state because I can give it a good home." So rather than giving her more money, he was removing a problem for her. And she was very happy with this, accepted his bid, and she also ended up throwing in a lot of other furniture that she didn't want to transport across state. Now, this is similar to Richard Donner's tactic of creating like a fake item of desire, creating a fake trading ploy in order to get the person to take one step towards you. Whereas Richard Donner faked shaving off his mustache, lots of us can fake an interest in a certain compromise just to get the person to take a step towards us. So it's a bait and switch, but in a little bit more of a positive way. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I am Bandit, this is Bandit Incorporated. Until next time, I will see you guys in the comments.